Good evening, everyone. Happy Friday. How's everybody's day going? How's everybody's week going? The weekend is here. Hopefully, you're all enjoying yourselves. Hopefully, you're all doing something on this Valentine's Day for folks that are with someone. Shout out to everybody in the chat. How's everybody doing on this Friday evening? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, share this channel out with everyone you know. I would greatly appreciate it. We are on the road to 1,500 subscribers. We are in spring training mode. We are in baseball mode. We are 41 days away from opening day, folks. How we all feeling? Hopefully you're all doing well. Let's say what's up to the chat real quick. We got Ken, John the Beagle Dad, Jacob Petruzzi. What is up, man? Mr. Controversy himself. Good to see you as always, aka Rodney Green. Steve, what's going on? Oh, okay. She's working tonight. All right. So you're just chilling right now. I know what you're doing, Rodney. Oh, my boy Gusto in the building. What's up, Gusto? How's it going? As he says, like, share, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell. I do appreciate it. So, a few things today. Marcus Stroman was present with the team, so it was a good sight. He looked like he was in a good mood. I wanted to just share this video here real quick. He is working out with the team. He's all smiles. He's doing his thing, having a good laugh with his teammates. It didn't seem like he was phased by the trade rumors or the trade news as far as him potentially being traded to another team. He has made it known that he is a starting pitcher. He made that known. He doesn't want to be put in the bullpen. Apparently there was a conversation about him maybe moving into the bullpen, and he said that he is a starter. And there was no negative feedback when it came to when it came to Stroman. You didn't get that negative feedback from neither Brian Cashman or Aaron Boone. They all favored it. They know that Boone. They know that Stroman is a gamer. So they know that he's vintage Stro, and he's gonna do everything he possibly can to compete. So I think I want to say a fire was probably lit under him, and with that fire being lit under him, I think he's gonna try and go out and make a point. He's gonna make a case. He's gonna prove himself, right? And listen, I have nothing against Marcus Stroman. I don't think he's I don't want to say he's a bad pitcher. He's a good pitcher, good number 4, number 5 guy, right? He did well in the first half of the season, but then, didn't do as well in the second half of the season. But like Brian Cashman said, there were times where the defense did let him down. So, and that was no lie. And there were bats that didn't come through either. So, let's see what happens with Stroman. I mean, as far, and I agree with him. He's definitely not a bullpen guy. He's a starter. He's 100% a starter. You're not going to put an $18.5 million starter in the bullpen. There's just no way. And I'll pull up Aaron Boone's comments about Marcus Stroman's "I'm a starter" comments. I'll pull up what he had to say. The fact of the matter is, when we'll talk about Boone, because there's been some news about him. Yankees 28. What is going on? Ray Clickner, welcome. And I wanted to pull this comment up. Yeah, Ronnie wants to thank all of us, for having his back yesterday. I mean, yeah, man. Like I said, dude, we this is how we do it on this channel. Like you take it to that level. We're definitely gonna step up, man. That we're not going to tolerate that garbage over here. So Yeah, you bring that type of stuff here, you're gone. You're done. You're done. Like there's no three strikes you're out. It's either you apologize or you're gone. And I don't think an apology is even acceptable at that point because your true colors are have shown and your masks just fell off. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly say something about that. But back to baseball, back to Yankees, back to better things we could talk about. So let me pull up Boone's comments. It's about 49 seconds got to say. So let me pull that up for you real quick. So let me share the screen here. Bear with me. There we go. I mean, here's what Boone had to say. Let me know if you all need to. Let me know if you all could hear it. I just want to make sure.
Will not get Chamberlain. I'm a starter. Right now, he's your sixth starter. Everybody stays healthy. That could be a problem if he's still here.
Well, first of all, happy Valentine's Day. It's February 14th. So, you're getting way ahead of this thing. Like, we're getting him ready. We're building him up to be a starting pitcher. And, it's so far out there. And we'll obviously address anything we have to once we get in a certain situation. But right now the focus is getting him ready to go, and I think he's got a pen tomorrow, and it's getting him ready to start. So and then as we go, when things come up, we'll address them.
Because will not get Chamberlain. I'm a starter.
Well, let me get this. Okay, cool. So, Boone, he welcomed it. He didn't have anything negative to say about Stroman's comments, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on how you all feel about this. Are the Yankees potentially going to go 6 starters? I mean, is that do we all think that might be a thing, or do we think that he's going to go 5? That they're going to go 5 starters, and Stroman is going to be he's going to compete for a spot, and he potentially he's probably going to try and compete. If they are going to go 5, he's going to definitely compete and try and take over. Probably try and take Clark Schmidt's spot. But based on those comments, though, folks, I want to know what you all think. And are you all thinking that that Stroman could potentially get a spot, or or is he or do you think the Yankees could still potentially trade him? So again, he reported to spring training. He looked like he was in a good mood. He looked very pleased. He was working out with his teammates. He was hugging his teammates. So I just want to know what you all think. Let me know what you all think. But I think ultimately, they're going to go 5 starters, and I think Stroman is just going to have to compete for a spot, plain and simple. That's what I think. Steve-O says he'll be traded before the season starts. Translation: yeah, you're probably right, man. I mean, that could still be the case. It's just a matter of what team they could trade him to, and how much of that contract that they want to eat. There's also that factor too. I mean, the Yankees have made it known that they do want to that they're willing to eat some of his contract. So, and in spring training, injuries do occur. It does happen. So, the Yankees could look for an opportunity. So there's that. And one injury to any starter, and we will be thankful he's here. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing. So, injuries do occur. It's inevitable in any sport, especially baseball. Injuries are going to happen, and they are, and he could be a backup, and we'll be glad to have him, if that is the case. The press does suck. Yeah, I think the press, making a big deal about about Marcus Stroman not being present during these workouts. It wasn't really that big of a deal. He didn't have to be there, right? He didn't have to be there per the CBA agreement. He needed to definitely report on the 22nd, and there was reports saying that he was going to report sooner, and he did, and he was there. He was there today. So again, he was in a good mood. There was no love loss whatsoever. Again, he does seem to, be in good spirits. So, we'll see what happens. Now let's talk about Aaron Boone, folks. Let's talk about Aaron Boone. Do you all think an extension talks should, I know they're happening right now. Do you think that it should be happening? Or should the Yankees have waited till after the season was over? I wanted to get folks' thoughts on that, because look, the Yankees love Aaron Boone. The organization loves Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone loves the organization, obviously. So Aaron Boone is not going nowhere. And from what Brian Cashman said, it sounds like they are trying to get a deal. They're trying to get a deal done before opening day or before the end of spring training. So, it's clear that, they do want to come to a deal. I know Boone wants to come to a deal. Boone enjoys being a manager for the Yankees. And again, the organization loves him. I know a lot of fans are probably not going to welcome it. A lot of fans have their criticisms when it comes to Aaron Boone, but I want to know what you all think. And shout out to Rodney Green for gifting a membership. Rodney Green, a very giving individual, as always. And it looks like Jared Braun is the recipient of that membership. So congratulations to Jared Braun. You just won a Strike Zone membership. So you're the man, Rodney. As always, bro, you are the man. You are the man. Let's go. Yeah, I'm wondering what his contract is going to look like. What his extension is going to look like. Is it 3 years? I could see 3 years, 3 to 4. There, Yankees 28. I could potentially see that. I think 3 years is reasonable. I think anything, I'd say anything beyond 4. I think it's a little too much, but I think 3 years is fair, right? Because these next 3 years, it's going to be really interesting what the team is going to look like, especially with players that they'll look into in free agency. They got some young guys coming up in the farm. So they could potentially be part of this organization in the future. They could make it to the major. They'll make it to the Major League Baseball level, and you're going to have a new youth movement with the Yankees here in the next couple of years. So there's a few names that we could think of that are coming up. So and they want Boone to be a part of that, and I think they see Boone as a fit. They do. They really like Boone. He's been here since 2018. As I keep saying, Boone, he's done a lot. He's done good things for the team. For somebody who's never played a managerial role, I'd say he's done well. Given the teams that he's been given, 2024 was the best. Was the best squad, was the best team that he had throughout his tenure. And 2025, it looks to be better on paper. I mean, especially with the pitching, whether it's the starting rotation, the bullpen. I think the pitching is looking a lot better. It's going to be stronger. And then also with the lineup, even though yesterday when I talked about the lineup, I do think that the lineup, there are some question marks, but if everything goes according to plan, the lineup is going to be more balanced, and hope these guys do well, especially in situational hitting, which was a struggle, and hopefully they do a much better job with lefty bats, because that was a big issue, or not lefty bats, excuse me, lefty pitching, because there was definitely a big problem with the Yankees bats when it came to lefty pitching. John Beagle says, I reserve to remain silent when it comes to retaining Boone. Anything I say can be used in a You can say whatever you want, man. I don't care. You're not going to offend me. So 3 years for sure. If we don't make the World Series, I'm not really sure they'll extend Boone. But they're already talking about extending him right now before the season begins. So they're I think they're so it sounds like they're going to try and get a deal done. They want to get a deal done. Let's see what happens. And what's up, Brad? What's up, Jonathan? How we doing? What's going on? So shout out to you guys. But yeah, again, I know that, but it's all been said. Yeah, no, I got you, dude. I got you. You know, man, like I said, there was no doubt that Boone was going to remain with this team. I like originally I was saying that they should have waited for for the 2025 season and see how it plays out, and then decide from there, you know, whether or not do you want to continue sticking with him, or do you want to go a different direction and hire another manager? No doubt. I feel like if Boone wasn't the manager, some team would have. There would be another team that would definitely be interested. You know, and I know folks talk about how Boone is what am I trying to say? Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. That, you know, I know a lot of, again, I know a lot of folks don't want Boone, but again, they seem as a fit. But if Boone wasn't the manager, that's where I was getting at. Sorry. If Boone wasn't the manager, who do you replace him with? You know, I can't think of any names, right? I know I know some Yankees fans have talked about Alex Cora. He's a name. For me, it would have been, you know, it's you know, Terry Francona. That would have been the guy I wanted. And Francona is back, and he's you know, he's the manager of the Cincinnati Reds now. But yeah, Yankees 28. Judge loves him. Cole loves him. So, you know, now you mentioned those guys. I mean, they have, you know, a few years, right? As far as age goes. I mean, they are getting a little bit older. So, you know, they're in their prime years, and you don't want to waste their prime years. So, you know, hopefully he can do some good things with while Judge and Cole are still, you know, in their prime. Hey, Donnie Baseball, listen, a lot of folks bring up Donnie Baseball. I'm not opposed to Don Mattingly. I just don't know what is the relationship between him and the organization. I'm genuinely curious, because I feel like I feel like there's not really a connection there. I mean, I would love to have Don Mattingly as the manager of the New York Yankees. You know, I just don't know what that relationship looks like. I'd be down for Mattingly. Yeah, I mean, Judge and Cole both have a say in as far as, you know, Boone staying or going. So, and they both love Aaron Boone. They both do love Aaron Boone. There's no doubt. Jacob saying outside the box guy would be Tim Corbin, manager for Vandy. Okay, yeah. I mean, I think somebody on Twitter mentioned his name. I mean, that could be a thing. Well, that's the other thing, right? Mattingly, right as of right now, he's the he's the bench coach for the Blue Jays, and yeah, if the Yankees want to interview him, yeah, good luck trying to get that from the Blue Jays. I don't know if they would request that. Nah, dude, listen, I remember Don Mattingly when I was a kid, bro. Like I caught him at the tail end of his career. You know, I wish the circumstances for him were a lot better, man. But yeah, there's nothing like Donnie baseball. There's nothing like Donnie baseball. I remember seeing him play as a kid when I was a kid, and he's who's he was phenomenal, and I've seen some old highlights. He was something else, man. Donnie baseball was something else. He was the man for sure. Why do the players have any say? I mean, Boone, well, for one, Judge is the captain of the team, so I'm pretty sure they will, guys like Hal and Cashman are going to are going to talk to guys like Judge and get feedback. And Cole is not a co-captain, but he plays a big role for the team. So, they do, they have a lot of input. I mean, they're gonna have a lot of input. They're involved with the players. They know what needs to happen. I mean, at the end of the day, honestly, like I don't think I'm going to say this. I don't think Aaron Judge they're going to listen to every one of Judge's demands, right? If that was really the case, they would have brought back Gleyber Torres. They would have brought back Alex Verdugo. So, they're going to take feedback, right, from guys like Judge and Cole. But at the end of the day, the organization is going to do what it's going to do. So, to help improve the team. So, whether you agree or disagree, let me know. You would hope not, there, Ken. You would hope not. You would hope not. Ron Guidry. Pff. Yeah, I seen highlights of him, and that was amazing. Like that dude was something else too, man. Yeah, well, exactly. I think this is, to Brad's point here. I mean, you would hope the Blue Jays wouldn't stop one of their coaches from advancing. The fact of the matter is, though, it's a division rival, so they might reject him for that very reason. So, yeah, I do agree with that. Oh, you and Gusto going out to dinner. All right, I'll see you there, Ronnie. I'm just giving you a hard time. David, what's going on? He says, don't worry about Stroman. His attitude isn't helping with a trade, but he's not throwing a pitch. Not a chance. He's definitely getting moved. I mean, where is the question? Where is the question? I mean, that's the big question. I mean, the Tigers are a team that we've talked about. The Marlins are a team that, we've talked about. I don't know of any other teams that are out there. So that they could potentially trade him to. But again, they'll probably see how spring training plays out, because sometimes there are opportunities when it pertains to spring training, because again, injuries do happen, they do occur. So we'll just see how that plays out. It'll happen over spring training. The first team to lose one to three guy is going to take him for whatever the Yankees are willing to take, not pay his salary. Yeah, I mean, the Yankees are going to eat some of that salary. They are willing to eat some of that salary. So it's, if he does end up getting moved, but as of right now, he's a New York Yankee. He showed up to the warm-ups, to the workouts. So again, he looked like he was in a good mood. So, we'll just see how things play out. Yeah, but let's see what happens during spring training with as far as Aaron Boone's extension goes. So let's see if it's going to be a 2-year thing, 3-year, 4-year, 5-year. I'm just busting your chops, man. I learned from you about busting chops there, Mr. Controversy. Love you, bro. Ocean View Coffee Shop. I haven't seen you in a while, man. How are you? Plenty of other teams will love to have Stroman. I'm sure some teams would take him. I'm sure some teams would take him. Why do the majority of Yankees hate Aaron Boone? I think you meant to say fans there. They don't want to get extended. Respect him as our manager. I support Aaron Boone, dude. I'm one of those fans that supports Aaron Boone. I know I got a few folks in here that support him. I know other folks. I know there's a few other folks that are not exactly the biggest fans of him. But again, I'm a fan of him. I think he has done fine as a manager. Some of his questions or some of his decisions are questionable. I get that. I would agree with that they're questionable. But I don't know. I support him, and I hope he does get a World Series. I'm always going to support the guy. So, but again, I don't. A lot of folks there are a lot of fans that don't like him. You better watch your mouth, man. I'm no vegan. What are you talking about? I'm definitely not a vegan. I will pull out the mats. Steakhouse, let's go. Let's go, Rodney. I love to eat a good steak, man. Yeah, people in press want to make a big deal out of it. Yeah, I agree. Again, as I said earlier, Acevedo, I think the whole Marcus Stroman not being at practice is not that big of a deal. And what up, Pizzo Will? What's going on? What is up? Armchair GMs who don't understand the dynamics of baseball. They really don't. They also don't understand the financials. But again, that's I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. And that's the issue, Steve-O. That is a big issue. The second half, yeah, he does tend to gas out, man. I mean, that first half, he was lights out. He was fantastic, right? The second half, he does tend to gas out a little bit. And I saw Rodney's comment from earlier about leery about trading Marcus Stroman, because then, if a pitcher gets injured and he goes down, who do you call up? It's like, you could call up Will Warren, but are we sure that Warren can fill in that role? I'm not saying Warren is a bad pitcher. I think he's got potential. When he got called up to the major league level and he pitched in a few games, he's got good stuff. But he did definitely get rocked. He definitely got rocked. So I think he still needs a little bit more development. So that's just my take on it. But let's see what happens with Stroh. I'm not against him. I like the guy. But if you're able to get something of value back, I mean, by all means, trade him. But it all depends. You have to, you're not going to just trade the guy just to trade the guy, right? And shout out to Pito Will, who has become a new member of the Strike Zone. So welcome, Pito Will, to the Strike Zone family, to the Strike Zone crew. Thank you. So, Welcome, man. A vegan steak? I've never heard of that. Yeah, it's all meat for you. Yeah, we know, Gusto. Let's see. Ken is saying NFE just think the Yankees can get Arenado for the grand total of 42 mil for the season. Are you saying 42 mil because of the tax? Because they're over the Cohen threshold? Is that where you're getting at? Because that's another reason why that's probably another reason why the Yankees aren't willing to go out and spend money like that or acquire a big contract without another team eating it. So this is true. Yeah. I got gusto. That's what you get for calling me a vegan, bro. Vegan steak, equals big mushroom. You got that right. Yeah, Ken. I mean, yeah, they're over the Cohen threshold. So, I mean, any contracts that they take on or if they get, it's definitely they're going to be taxed on that money. So, 42 million. I'm not. No thanks. And imagine if they signed Bregman. So that 40 million probably would have been what, 80 million? Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, Gusto, I want Arenado too, but the problem is, again, he's got to waive his no trade clause, and that one it's a difficult situation. It really is. So, Paranormal, what's going on, man? How are you? Good to see you. The newsman, Marcus Stroman, he's made his presence at spring training. We talked a little bit about Aaron Boone's extension, and hello, back it up, binge, JB. What is going on, my Orioles friend? So I got to ask you, as an Orioles fan. How are you feeling about the Orioles? How are you feeling about the Red Sox getting Alex Bregman? What was your reaction when that happened? Talk to me, man. Talk to us. There's a plant-based meat alternative being sold in Australia. Well, I would too, dude. I would too. Robert Boone is in the chat. What's up? He says Stroman's got to go. I understand. I get it. Again, I don't know if Stroman's going anywhere, folks. I don't know if he's going anywhere, but exactly. 5'10" player with a partial, no trade clause. Yep. Indeed he is. Indeed he is. And let me take a quick pause here real quick. I just wanted to shout everybody in the chat. I do appreciate every single one of you. You all are rocking out, killing it. So do appreciate it. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe, share this channel out with everybody you know. I would appreciate it, and I thank you. I do thank you. Because man, you're an Orioles fan, and I know I'm sure you're probably like, dang it, the Yankees made moves. The Sox got Bregman. How come my team is not doing anything? I'm sorry, man. So still say Yanks, Sox, O's, Jays, Rays. Okay. Yeah, I bet you are excited for Bregman there, bud. I know. Yeah, I know you're a Red Sox fan, so for sure. Yeah, please no DJ at third. I'm right there. But I mean, if he is going to be your starting third baseman, I'm going to root for him. I'm not going to root against him, and I hope he plays well. But Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, Steve-O, Willie Castro, he's another name that's been heavily mentioned by Yankees fans, but I don't know that he's available. And what would the Twins want for him? That's the other question. I would love to have Willie Castro. So, but yes, indeed, Peraza at third. I'd welcome it. I should have the Back It Up Binge podcast on my channel. Well, hey, whenever he has time, I'd love to bring him up and do a live stream with him. I did jump on his channel and we did a pre-show, like a pre-live, and it was a good time. I had fun with him. He's a great guy. So yeah, we'd love to get him on here for a live stream. I think that'd be awesome. I've been following from a distance. Stroman for a mid-level third baseman. Is that what people are saying? I mean, that's probably what you would get for him, is probably a mid-level third baseman. I mean, again, the Tigers right now, they lost Cobb for about a month with a hip injury, so they could potentially look to trade with them, but they might just see how things play out in the spring. Bregman Boston putting Bregman at second base there, Jared. We'll see how it plays out, man. I mean, they definitely weren't going to move Devers. They would have been crazy if they moved Devers. But I think they, I hope he, for you as a Red Sox fan, hopefully it works out for your team. I don't, where else were they going to put him? I guess, you weren't going to put him at first. You're definitely not going to put him at shortstop. Second base is probably the next logical position for Alex Bregman. So, but that's my take on it. But yeah, the team has length in the lineup, improved defensive, infield and outfield, no doubt. Improve the rotation bullpen. It's no impact. His glove has to work. That's the big thing, is the defense. I'm rocking the hat, bro. You already know, Benito. Great seeing you, man. Oh, you're a Yankees fan now. Welcome. We welcome new fans. Come on over, man. Yeah, he could be a starter for the Orioles, but the question is, I don't know if the Yankees want to trade Stroman to a division rival. I don't think that's something that they would want to do. So, but I want to pull up this clip from Brian Cashman, because he did make some comments today. I know a lot of folks are not a big fan of Brian Cashman. But I want to pull up this clip real quick and play it for you all, and I want to get everybody's thoughts on it. So let's talk about Brian Cashman here. Let me pull up the screen. All right, hopefully you all could see that. Let me play it for you all. Hold on. Here. So this is Brian Cashman talking about the 2025 Yankees versus 2024, folks. So listen in.
I can't say one way or the other. Right? I know, it's a different roster. It's different in the fact that we're on paper maybe more improved defensively, more athletic, maybe more balanced on the offensive side. More strikeouts on paper coming into the pen than it was previous year. Deeper starting rotation than it was. All those things are positives. negative is we lost a generational talent in Juan Soto. And how do you overcome that? So, the pivot, which is the word people have used so far, is certainly an effort in doing so. But last year's roster was the American League champions. That is a hard thing to do, to get yourself into a World Series, to beat all comers in that sprint of a postseason, to get past Kansas City, then Cleveland, as well as navigating all our opponents in the American League East, to represent our league in the World Series, something we're really proud about. So how this roster stacks up compared to all competition here in the American League, first and foremost, remains to be seen. And certainly losing Juan Soto as a generational talent hurts. But we look forward to, figuring this thing out, because that's the challenge and the job of our players, our coaching staff, our manager, and our front office, and our scouts, and everybody that goes along with it.
All right, folks. Let me get your thoughts on that, on Brian Cashman's comments. Like, what do you all think? Do you agree, disagree? How do you all feel about what he just said? Let me know in the chat. The audio is weird. Was it like choppy, or was the sound low? Was it low sound? I mean, because I have no control over that. I mean, that's all the channel or the network that put that out there. So I'm just want to let that be known. So John the Beagle's dad says that he is not wrong, like the moves they have made so far. Yeah, I mean, look, he admitted that losing Soto hurt, it sucked, but but they pivoted quickly, and they acquired good players. The only one that's like questionable right now is third base, but we'll see how that plays out. He's right that the team is more balanced. Yeah, I would agree with that there, David A. I think they're more balanced. So he should have stood up and finger in the air and to the rest of the AL to acknowledge us. That would have been awesome. But yeah, I do feel that the team is a little bit more balanced. They definitely made more. They definitely made more better additions for defense. I mean, they've improved defensively. The lineup is definitely more balanced. It's just a matter of how this lineup is going to perform, and I do hope that I do hope that the lineup does its job. Again, there's a few question marks for me as far as the lineup goes, and we talked about it. But hopefully those names do step up. So you're hearing it different for me for some reason. I got it. Wonder if it would be any different if I didn't show the clip and I just played the audio. I don't know. Benito saying I'm originally from the South Boogie Down, but I've been in Pittsburgh since 1994. Okay. All right. Imagine being a Pirates fan. They love baseball here, and they certainly have history, but the ownership is dreadful. Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up, man, but because, the Pirates ownership is dreadful. There's a lot of owners out there that are, I would say, that are dreadful. They don't spend any money on the team. They don't look to make any improvements to the team. It's absolutely frustrating. So, there's other owners in baseball that are worse. I'm just saying. Ray's saying that he likes his team better than last year for sure. I'm right there with you, especially defensively. Like Steve-O says, better defense, base running, pitching. Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I don't disagree with that whatsoever. And then there was some other comments that Cashman had made. I'll just pull up the tweet for it. So let me just find that tweet real quick. Sorry. There's a few tweets that I wanted to share with you all. Here we go. I found it. So let me know if you guys can see. Let me zoom in a little bit more. That looks kind of blurry. Can you all see that? It still looks kind of blurry. Hold on. Let me make this full screen. So this was put out by Chris Kirshner. I'll just read it off. So he says, I asked Cashman if he believes the Yankees can compete financially head-to-head with the Dodgers. And again, I want to get everybody's thoughts on this. So Cashman, this is what he says. He says, regardless of financial circumstance, the job is to find a way to compete, putting together a team. There's a lot of different avenues to do so, whether it's financial might, whether it's some amateur draft, international pro scouting, development, waiver claims, minor leagues, free agent signings. Ultimately, the Dodgers have raised the bar. They're the defending world champions. They're doing a lot of things really good, which, again, as a competitor, you're always looking inward of what are we not doing well enough compared to our competitors. So what are your thoughts on that, folks? Let me get your guys' thoughts on this. Do you all agree with what he said, or do you all disagree? I want to get folks' opinions here. You know, obviously we know financially, right? You know, we've talked about it a handful of times. The Yankees cannot, or any team really, they can't compete with the Dodgers financially. I mean, the Dodgers are owned by a hedge fund. Now, they could still compete. They could still go out there and win. They could still go out there and get players. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you know, as long as you have a good quality team, good quality lineup, good quality pitching, you could still succeed. You could still win a championship. And $300 million is a high payroll. I mean, the Yankees are always at the top when it comes to the highest payrolls in all of baseball, right? So they're always up there. But unfortunately, being one of the higher payrolls doesn't always equate to a World Series. And you know, we saw that with the Texas Rangers 2 years ago. So, you know, the Texas Rangers were, they didn't have as high of a payroll as some of the big teams in baseball, and they still won the World Series. And their opponent was the Diamondbacks, another team that doesn't have a high payroll, but they made it to the World Series. So, you know, it's not always about, you know, who spends the most money. It really isn't. It does sometimes, you know, it does boil down to how you build a team. And if that team has good chemistry, if they can play together. So, you know, it's not always about them, you know, it's not always having the highest payroll, although it's nice, you know, it's a nice thing to have, but it doesn't always guarantee a championship. Now, in the Dodgers case, I mean, it's different. You know, they're just you know, signing everybody and anybody. So, and they're deferring contracts, but they're able to do that. I mean, they have the flexibility to do that. So, you know, I'm, you know, again, it's not, you know, it's not every team could do what the Dodgers are doing. I mean, I know the Red Sox deferred $90 million of Bregman's contract, but how many deferrals do they have, though? I mean, Bregman's going to be their only one, right? The Dodgers have plenty. You know, deferrals aren't, you know, is not something that's always done. So, yeah, no one can compete with the Dodgers. Exactly, David A. And Ronnie says you can't buy a ring. Base tend to frown on it. Yeah, because teams buy their players to win championships. You always used to hear that argument about the Yankees whenever they would sign players. It's like, oh, they're buying their championships. It's like as if these players are playing for free when they play for another team, which I think is hilarious when people say these things. But it's funny. But that's just my opinion on it. But Brian, another thing that Brian Cashman talked about was the intention of, signing Aaron Boone to an extension. So I know we talked about it already with Aaron Boone. I feel like they will at some point, they're going to come to some sort of agreement. What that agreement's going to look like, it still remains to be seen. But, we'll see what happens. Benito says the Dodgers reinvest these deferred contracts in the deferred funds compound, making it close to getting their return on investments beyond cent. Yeah, again, they're capable. They're owned by Guggenheim. They're able to do these things. So money is not an issue for them. Money is zero issue for them. So, oh man, Manny. I didn't know Manny was still getting paid. I'm just saying that I was just saying like deferrals don't happen often. I didn't know Devers had deferrals. I did not know that, and I didn't know Manny was still getting paid. Looks like he pulled a Bobby Bonilla. Do you think Stroman will get traded? If the opportunity presents itself, Jonathan, that's going to be my answer. If the opportunity presents itself, then yeah, sure, he could get traded. But as of right now, as far as the Yankees are concerned, he is a member of the New York Yankees, and as of right now, it doesn't look like he's going anywhere. He has made his case known that he is not going to the bullpen, that he is a starter, and that's that. He has made it known. He has made it known. So, yeah, I didn't know Manny was still getting paid. I had no idea. Oh yeah, no, I think there'll, there is are potential suitors for Stroman. It's just a matter of when, they're just waiting to see how things play out. So that's again, let's just see how the spring training plays out. There's still 41 days till opening day, so anything can happen between now and then. So we'll just have to wait and see. And I wanted to read this quote from Brian Cashman. I won't pull it up. I'll just read it to you. So Gary Phillips put out a tweet and got Brian Cashman's thoughts on the Yankees not being the highest bidders for some free agent targets like Juan Soto, Yamamoto. He says you don't know where your opposition is. You take on the cues that the agents guide and direct you with. In some cases, they tell you they have this. In other cases, it's blind bidding. In some cases, they say they've got something that they don't, and you don't find out until later. You just have to choose to navigate what you're comfortable with. Sometimes you don't win the day. I mean, I know that's a tough pill to swallow. That sometimes you just don't win deals. But I can only imagine when you're negotiating with players, when you're negotiating with the agents, that sometimes you know, it's a business, right? You're selling, right? You're negotiating, you're talking, and sometimes you're told certain things, and agents are hoping that the teams or general managers go into like a panic mode, and try to get the highest money that they can, highest bid that they can. But sometimes you just have to, you gotta, swim through the ocean, right? Go, swim in between the sharks. So, I'm sure, you're playing poker, you're playing roulette, right? You're playing roulette, you're rolling the dice essentially. And it's a risk. And sometimes you're not, I feel like sometimes the agents, they're not always being truthful with the GMs. They're trying to do what they can for their clients. They're trying to do everything for themselves, because at the end of the day, agents are going to get paid. So they make an offer. The player could say no, and then the other team makes a better offer. They don't tell, and sometimes I'm sure they don't always tell you, hey, here's what they're offering. They're giving us a better offer. But you know, sometimes, sometimes, a lot of times GMs don't really, they don't have all the information. They don't know what it is that they're dealing with. It's a tough job. So, as far as the whole Soto thing goes, as far as Yamamoto at the time, the Yankees did make I think the contracts that they offered to both of those guys were more than reasonable. I think they were more than reasonable, but the players and the agents didn't see it that way. What are you going to do? Right? So, unfortunately, you're not going to win every battle. You're not going to win every signing or every trade, but you just hope that whoever you sign or whoever you trade for, they do end up working well with the team. They hopefully it ends up working well in the future. That's all you can do. As of right now, the Yankees on paper, I'd say they look good. They are well rounded, but I do think that obviously the games still need to get played. There's still 162 games that need to get played. Anything and everything could look good on paper, but you never know how the season's going to play out. Injuries occur. Sometimes there's setbacks. You just never know what's going to happen. God forbid a player could get injured and they're out for the season, and that definitely puts that screws the team. And now it's like they're struggling. So it's not, you hope that whatever players that GMs get for their teams, you hope that things do truly work out. And I am hoping that things do work out for the Yankees. So, yeah, it's snowing like crazy. Let's see. Right now in my area, there's just some rain. I know we're gonna get snow here in the next few days. So, we'll see. We'll see what the weather is like up here. But I'm sure the weather where you are, Gusto, is definitely different. So you're in a different part of the world of Colorado. But that's, again, I just wanted to kind of go live tonight and give my thoughts on the on Marcus Stroman being present, the extension of Aaron Boone, some of Brian Cashman's comments. So, I just wanted to go live and share that with all of you. And I just wanted to share my thoughts and my opinions on it. And just wanted to see everybody else's reaction. Benito saying, my concern is that Stroman's attitude will hurt their trade value. They may have to settle and eat much of that contract. I mean, They're gonna have to eat his contract. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. They're gonna have to eat his contract. Whether they want to accept that or not. So yeah, and as far as his attitude goes, I don't think in the past I know his attitude has been bad. I feel like it has been better. I just think the guy just has a lot of passion, a lot of fight in him. He's always hungry. So you can't blame a player for having that type of attitude. You want a player to have that type of attitude, and you want him. You never want them to quit. And I wouldn't call Stroman a quitter. I mean, he goes out there every game, no matter what team he plays for, and he tries to give it his best. All right, so again, that's just my take on him. But I think attitude wise, I think he's been better as far as attitude goes. He's been better. I mean, in the past, it got pretty bad there at times, right? He was very mouthy for sure. He'd go on social media and post these things, but I feel like he's been a lot better though. But again, that's how I'm viewing it. That's how I'm perceiving it. But folks, I am going to end the live stream here. I do greatly appreciate each and every one of you being here. As always, I do appreciate it. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to all the subscribers. Thank you for all the support that you all give to this channel. Shout out to Rodney for the membership, and shout out to our newest member, Pito Will. Shout out to you, man. Welcome. I do appreciate everybody being here. I will go live again. I don't know when, but since spring training is in session, every day this week I have been going live because there's stuff to talk about, which is great. I love this time of year. I'm looking forward to more news. I'm looking forward to more Yankee stuff, more other baseball stuff. I mean, this is a great time of year, folks. Baseball season is here. Next week, spring training games are going to be in session. So first game is next Friday. Hopefully you all get to tune in to some of it. I'm going to try and definitely tune in. I know Ace has said that he is going to try. He wants to do some live streams for the spring training games. I might actually, he asked me if I wanted to jump on with him and call some games, and I'm totally down. So, and as I keep saying, I am going to definitely try and call more games this season. So do more play-by-plays along with obviously the pre-games. You know how much I love the pre-games. I know you all enjoy the pre-games too. It's always a fun time, but that's what we got, folks. That's what we got. So I'm going to end it here. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you all hit that like button, hit that subscribe, share this channel out with everyone you know. If you're watching this on X, go to my homepage, hit that link, hit that subscribe, join in on the Strike Zone crew, join in on the conversations. We have a good time here. We have some laughs. We always have a fun time. So thank you all again for coming on. I greatly appreciate it. Have a good night. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll see you next time. See y'all later.